Life can be tough, right? We all face problems every day, from stuff at home to tricky things at work or school. But guess what? We're not alone in these tough times. Just like a general gets their soldiers ready for a fight, we can get ourselves ready too. What if I told you there's an old book with secrets to help us win these battles? It's the Bible. Lots of people think it's just for church, but it's actually full of helpful advice for everyday life. The Bible shows us that real strength comes from believing in something bigger than ourselves. It's not just about physical power or brute force, it's about having a deep-rooted faith that guides our actions and decisions. This faith gives us the courage to face challenges head-on, knowing that we are not alone in our struggles. It teaches us that true strength comes from within, from a place of unwavering belief and trust in a higher power. This inner strength is what helps us overcome obstacles and emerge victorious in the battles of life. Winning isn't just about being strong, it's about being smart and brave and having faith. It's about using our minds to strategize and plan, to think ahead and anticipate challenges. It's about having the bravery to take risks and make tough decisions, even when the outcome is uncertain. And most importantly, it's about having faith. Faith in ourselves, in our abilities, and in the guidance we receive from a higher power. This combination of intelligence, courage, and faith is what truly leads to success. The stories in the Bible are like maps for today's problems. They provide us with timeless wisdom and guidance, showing us the way forward when we are lost or uncertain. These stories are filled with lessons that are just as relevant today as they were thousands of years ago. They teach us about the importance of perseverance, the value of compassion, and the power of faith. By studying these stories, we can find solutions to our own problems and navigate the complexities of modern life with greater ease. They show us how people struggled, how they succeeded, and what they learned. These stories are filled with examples of individuals who faced immense challenges and overcame them through faith, determination, and wisdom. They teach us that no matter how difficult our circumstances may be, we have the strength and resilience to overcome them. By learning from the experiences of others, we can gain valuable insights and apply them to our own lives, helping us to grow and succeed. And even though these stories are super old, they still work today. The lessons they impart are universal and timeless, transcending the boundaries of time and culture. They remind us that human nature and the challenges we face have remained constant throughout history. By drawing on the wisdom of these ancient stories, we can find guidance and inspiration for our own lives, no matter what era we live in. They help us to understand that the principles of faith, courage, and wisdom are just as relevant today as they were in the past. The Bible's wisdom is like a magic key that unlocks any door, no matter what time it is, where you're from, or what's happening. This wisdom is accessible to everyone, regardless of their background or circumstances. It provides us with the tools we need to navigate the challenges of life and find our way forward. By embracing the teachings of the Bible, we can unlock our full potential and achieve our goals. This timeless wisdom is a source of strength and guidance that can help us to overcome any obstacle and find success in all areas of our lives. In this video, we're going to dive into the Bible and discover the secrets that helped famous people win their battles. We'll see how those old lessons can help us with our problems today. We'll travel through the pages of the Bible, learning from heroes and getting inspired by their stories. Each part of the video will focus on a different person from the Bible and their challenges, and we'll see what we can learn from them. Imagine a sunny day in a valley. A giant named Goliath, almost 10 feet tall, is shouting at the Israelites. Then a young shepherd named David shows up, bringing lunch to his brothers. David doesn't see a scary giant, he sees someone making fun of his God. "Who is this guy to make fun of the army of the living God?" David asks. David's strong belief in God chases away everyone's fear. David's bravery came from his strong faith. "God saved me from a lion and a bear," David said, "so he'll save me from this giant too." David really trusted God. He didn't even want the king's armor. He just took his shepherd's stick, 5 smooth stones, and his sling. David's strong belief was his secret weapon. David believed in God, but he also got himself ready to fight. Being a shepherd taught him how to use a sling really well. He picked out 5 smooth stones, the best ones he could find. David got ready in his mind and body, and that helped him win. The Israelites were ready to enter the Promised Land, but the city of Jericho stood in their way, with huge walls all around it. Their leader Joshua had a big job to do. God told Joshua to have the army march around the city once a day for 6 days. On the 7th day they were to march around 7 times and then shout when the trumpets blew. Sometimes, winning means doing what God says, even if it sounds silly. Imagine you're one of those soldiers. You're marching around Jericho and the enemy is laughing at you, but you keep going, believing that God will keep his promise. The Battle of Jericho was about listening to God, even when it didn't make sense. This is important not just in battles, but in everyday life too. On the 7th day, as the Israelites marched around Jericho for the 7th time, everyone held their breath. Suddenly, the strong walls of Jericho crumbled. Jericho was defeated because the people listened to God. This amazing victory showed everyone how important it is to follow God's plan, even if it's hard. Gideon was a scared guy, hiding from enemies while trying to make food, but God chose him to save Israel. An angel called him a mighty warrior, which must have sounded crazy to Gideon. He said, "But how can I save Israel? My family is the weakest, and I'm the least important one." Gideon was so scared and didn't believe in himself. He only saw his weaknesses and the strong enemy, but God saw something special in Gideon. God told Gideon, "Go with the strength you have and save Israel, I am sending you." God wasn't telling Gideon to do it alone, he was promising to help. Gideon still wasn't sure, so he asked for a sign. God gave him 2 miracles. These miracles showed Gideon and the Israelites that God was still with them. God told Gideon to make his army smaller, from thousands of soldiers to just 300. This was a surprising and seemingly illogical command. Gideon had started with a large force, ready to face the Midianites, but God had other plans. He wanted to show that victory does not come from sheer numbers or human strength, but from faith and obedience to his will. Gideon, though initially hesitant, trusted God's word and reduced his army drastically. This crazy plan showed everyone that God, not a big army, would win the battle. The Midianites, with their vast numbers, seemed invincible, but God wanted to demonstrate his power in a way that would leave no doubt. By reducing Gideon's army to just 300 men, he ensured that the victory would be attributed to divine intervention, rather than military might. This was a lesson in humility and faith, teaching the Israelites to rely on God rather than their own strength. With just trumpets, jars, and torches, Gideon's tiny army snuck up on the enemy at night. The plan was simple, yet ingenious. Each soldier carried a trumpet, a jar, and a torch hidden inside the jar. They approached the Midianite camp under the cover of darkness, moving stealthily to avoid detection. The element of surprise was crucial to their success. Gideon divided his men into 3 groups, surrounding the enemy camp from different sides. They smashed their jars, lit their torches, and blew their trumpets. The sudden noise and light created chaos and confusion among the Midianites. The sound of the trumpets echoed through the night, and the sight of the torches made it seem like a vast army was attacking. The Midianites, already on edge, were thrown into a panic. They believed they were being ambushed by a much larger force. The enemy got scared and confused and started fighting each other. In their confusion and fear, the Midianites turned on one another. They couldn't distinguish friend from foe in the darkness and chaos. The Israelites didn't even have to engage in direct combat. The enemy defeated themselves. This miraculous victory was a testament to God's power and the effectiveness of his unconventional strategies. Gideon's victory taught everyone that real strength comes from trusting God, not from having lots of soldiers or weapons. This story has been passed down through generations as a powerful reminder of the importance of faith. It shows that when we trust in God and follow his guidance, even the most daunting challenges can be overcome. Gideon's triumph is a timeless example of how faith can conquer fear and lead to extraordinary outcomes. Nehemiah's story takes us to Jerusalem, a city in ruins. Its broken walls and burned gates showed how sad and divided the people felt after returning from exile. Nehemiah, a good man who worked for the king, was heartbroken when he heard about Jerusalem. He prayed to God for help. Nehemiah wanted to fix the city and bring the people back together. When Nehemiah arrived, he gave everyone hope. He wanted to rebuild the city, and everyone wanted that too. Nehemiah got everyone working together, giving each family a part of the wall to rebuild. This made everyone feel important. But some people didn't want Jerusalem to be strong again. They tried to stop Nehemiah, but he didn't give up. He knew their strength came from working together and trusting God. The walls of Jerusalem were rebuilt, brick by brick. The people were united again, full of hope. The finished wall wasn't just a wall, it was a symbol of God's faithfulness. But Nehemiah knew that wasn't enough. He helped the people reconnect with God and each other. Nehemiah's story shows us how to build strong communities. It's about working together and believing, even when things are tough. Nehemiah's story is important today because our world is often divided. We hear lots of things that make us scared and distrustful of each other. But Nehemiah's story gives us hope. It shows us that even when things seem impossible, we can work together to make things better. Just like Nehemiah, we can build bridges instead of walls. The problems faced by David, Joshua, Gideon, and Nehemiah weren't just ancient history. Their stories teach us important lessons that are still true today. They show us that we're not alone in our struggles, and that God is with us, just like He was with them. Their victories teach us to be brave, even when we're scared, to listen to God, even when it doesn't make sense, and to never give up, even when things are hard. A victorious life isn't about never having problems. It's about how we face those problems, how we rise above them, and how we let our faith guide us through the darkest times. Every challenge we encounter is an opportunity to grow stronger, to deepen our trust in God, and to become more resilient. Life is a journey filled with ups and downs, but it's our unwavering faith that helps us navigate through the stormy seas. It's about trusting God, taking chances, and never giving up. When we trust in God, we find the courage to take leaps of faith, to step into the unknown with confidence, knowing that He is with us every step of the way. Perseverance is not just about enduring hardships, it's about maintaining hope and faith, even when the path ahead seems uncertain. It's about believing that every step we take, no matter how small, brings us closer to our divine purpose. It's about knowing that God is always with us, helping us win every battle. In moments of doubt and fear, we can find solace in the knowledge that we are never alone. God's presence is a constant source of strength and comfort, guiding us through every trial and tribulation. When we feel supported by His love, we can face any challenge with renewed determination and hope. The battles we face are not ours to fight alone. With God by our side, victory is always within reach. Remember these heroes from the Bible. Their stories are timeless reminders of the power of faith and courage. From David's triumph over Goliath to Moses leading the Israelites out of Egypt, these biblical heroes faced insurmountable odds with unwavering faith. Their lives were not free from struggle, but their trust in God enabled them to overcome the greatest of challenges. These stories inspire us to believe that with faith, we too can achieve the extraordinary. Let their stories inspire you to be brave and to live a life with purpose. Just as these heroes found their strength in God, we too can draw inspiration from their journeys. Their courage and resilience remind us that we are capable of great things when we live with purpose and faith. By embracing their lessons, we can face our own challenges with a renewed sense of determination and hope. Let their stories be a beacon of light, guiding us towards a life of meaning and fulfillment. The battles you face don't define you. It's how you respond to them that shapes your character and your destiny. Every obstacle is an opportunity to demonstrate your faith and resilience. When you encounter roadblocks, remember that they are not the end of your journey but rather a chance to grow and learn. The choices you make in the face of adversity reveal your true strength and determination. Embrace these moments as opportunities to deepen your faith and trust in God's plan for your life. It's how you fight those battles and who you trust that matters. In the midst of adversity, it's our faith in God that sustains us. Trusting in His wisdom and guidance allows us to navigate through the toughest of times with grace and courage. The strength we draw from our faith empowers us to face challenges head-on, knowing that we are not alone. It's this trust in God that transforms our struggles into victories and our fears into triumphs. Trust God, be brave, and never give up. No matter how daunting the challenges may seem, remember that with God, all things are possible. Let your faith be the anchor that keeps you steady in the storm. Be brave in the face of adversity, knowing that God's strength is made perfect in your weakness. Never give up, for every step you take in faith brings you closer to the victory that God has promised. Your journey is a testament to the power of faith and the resilience of the human spirit. The same God who helped those heroes is ready to help you too. Just as He guided and supported the heroes of the Bible, He is here to guide and support you. His love and grace are available to all who seek Him. When you feel overwhelmed, remember that you have a divine ally who is always ready to lend a helping hand. Trust in His promises and let His presence be your source of strength and inspiration. With God by your side, you can overcome any obstacle and achieve your greatest dreams. So go out there, be brave, and live a victorious life. Embrace each day with the confidence that comes from knowing you are never alone. Let your faith be the driving force behind every action, and let your courage inspire others to do the same. Live a life that reflects the strength and resilience that comes from trusting in God. With His guidance, you can achieve greatness and live a life filled with purpose and joy. So step out in faith, be brave, and claim the victory that is yours.